Hey, it's Misa from Microsoft and welcome back to another video in the Why Surface series. And this week we're talking about Surface Book 3. And once again I'm joined by the wonderful Steve. Welcome back, Steve.
Hey Misa, yeah, super excited to be here to talk about all things Surface Book 3. And what's great about having us both in this video is that there are two iterations of this device. You have the 15-inch version, which is what I'm using right now, and we have the 13.5-inch version, Misa, which is what you're using. And the great thing about this device is that they both work for different kinds of people.
Exactly right. And like I've said a lot in this series, there is likely a Surface device that's perfect for you and the family. And Surface Book 3 slides up into that lineup as the powerhouse performance surface that keeps versatility and immersive use at its heart.
Absolutely, Misa. And with this video, we're going to do something similar like we did with the Go-To video, where we're going to deep dive into different aspects of these devices. Things like performance, design, and most importantly, who is this device for and whether it's for you guys.
That's right. So let's jump into it. Let's talk a little bit about design for Surface Book 3. And if you're familiar with Surface Book iterations before, Book 3 will be a familiar sight. It is the most powerful Surface laptop in the family that keeps it versatile, just like a Surface should be.
Absolutely, and there's two different iterations that you can select from. You can have the 13.5-inch, you can have the 15-inch if you want that more screen real estate. There is the iconic feature from Surface Book where it's detachable from the base. Means that you can use it in tablet mode, in laptop mode, in canvas mode, or anywhere in between. And of course, there's that dynamic fulcrum hinge, giving that extra stability on the device when you're using it as a touchscreen, but also when you close the device, it's giving the GPU room to breathe as well.
Yes, and the performance powerhouse could not be complete without the amazing full-size keyboard that's backlit and key travel that is immensely satisfying, and a large precision trackpad that is a pleasure to use, especially if you use gesture controls within Windows 10. But then it doesn't stop there, because of course you have more ways to connect on your Surface Book 3 with USB-A, C, a full-size SD card, which I must say I'm using right now as I'm recording this video to transfer the footage really quickly. But then of course you have your Surface Connect port and the headphone jack. But obviously Surface, we've got Bluetooth to cover you as well, so you can use your existing Bluetooth accessories like your Surface Arc mouse or a keyboard that you might have lying around to complete your package when you're using your device.
Absolutely, and on top of that, you're looking at dual studio far-field microphones, a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, and an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera with autofocus. This means that this device has the power you need it to have whilst taking advantage of some of those fantastic Windows features like Windows Hello. But this device might not look so different on the outside, but what's really changed is under the hood. So Misa, let's check out the performance of this device. Okay, Misa, let's talk about what's under the hood and talk about the performance of this device, because we have included the 10th generation Intel quad-core processors into these devices. It was really important for us to have the latest generation processors in there. On top of that, depending on the model that you select, you have the choice of NVIDIA GTX graphics cards as well, meaning that this device is going to be able to power things like Adobe Creative Cloud, Cinema 4D, and everything in between. On top of this, you can use the different Surface peripherals that you've come to know from different devices like Surface Dial. You can use that on the side of the device along with pen, Arc mouse, keyboard, anything you need to be the most productive self that you can be. Misa?
Yeah, exactly right, Steve. And it wouldn't be a Surface Book if it didn't have all-day battery life, and it has all that and more, with the Surface Book 3 13.5-inch lasting about 15.5 hours typical usage, and the 15-inch lasting about 17.5 hours, which you've got. So jealous, Steve. But of course, Book 3 does detach, and it's got a battery in the tablet as well as the base, so you can use it in whichever form factor suits you, and then continue to use it in the different form factors that allows you to use, because it's so versatile while being a performance beast. And that brings me to a really good point, is when this device, 13.5 or 15-inch, might be good for you. It might be the perfect device. So let's talk about when and why this device might be perfect for you. Right, Steve, so we've spoken a little bit about the design of the Book 3 as well as the performance and a little bit of what's under the hood, or the hinge of the Surface Book 3, I should say. But right now I really want to talk to you about why this Surface might be something you would consider, and who the Surface Book 3, whether or not it's 13.5 or 15-inch, whichever model it is, why you might consider it as your perfect device. If you don't mind, I want to speak a little bit around the 13.5-inch device because I've been using it. And for me, in this series, you would have heard that we are actually quite fortunate to have at our disposal lots of devices, and I tend to go between the laptop 3 13-inch and a tablet device like a Pro 7 or a Pro X as a companion device. That's just a personal preference for me because I like being able to hold the tablet in my hand and use it like a notepad because I'm a very tactile user. But since getting the Book 3 13-inch, it's still portable because of that screen size for me, but I'm able to then detach the screen when I do feel like I need a tablet device, and it sort of eliminates the need for a companion device for me, but it's powerful enough that I don't really even need a desktop or the 15-inch, even though I would love it, just even for like the battery life. But I would challenge you, you haven't had a chance to play around with the 13-inch, but who else do you think it might be good for?
I think this device, when you look at the 13.5 inch, is probably for those people like graphic designers or creatives who want to use things like pen and touch and dial and have that interactivity with their work on a different level. But also they're these people that are maybe out and about often. Maybe they're on the road quite a lot, or they're in the sky. Maybe they're flying from here to there and they need to have a powerful device, but not have the bulkiness of what a 15-inch, say, can provide. So having that portability of the 13.5 inch whilst utilizing that power, I think those are the kinds of people that would benefit from the 13.5 inch. For me, using that 15-inch device, I have a different need. I do quite a lot of video editing on the go. I also need that extra screen real estate to see what I'm doing on Premiere Pro. Also, first world problem, I like to look at a huge 15-inch screen whilst I'm watching my Netflix movies on flights. I love the idea of turning it around into tablet mode and clipping it back into the base so I can have the device sitting at the perfect viewing angle for me whilst I'm on flights. That means I can binge watch all of my Netflix TV shows on a 15-inch powerful device as well. Misa, who else do you think, other than someone like me, would this 15-inch device be good for?
Well, I would say anyone that needs a powerful Surface device that wants a larger screen real estate. So of course that would be one item there. But then two, I immediately think of someone like a social creator, someone who edits videos, who's on the go, who needs something that has a full-size SD card slot, like practicality tick box right there. And having that screen size, a photographer, allowing you to really get immersed into the image or the workspace, we call it flow, and being able to connect into whether or not it's using a dial, pen, or the touch screen, that screen size, but the power behind it allows you to work in the way that's like natural. You want it to respond to the way that you're working. And I think that's where the beauty of the 15-inch comes in, that you can actually really see it right in front of you, whichever mode that you see fit for you. But again, it's preference. Maybe you just want a larger screen size. And if that's the case, I don't blame you.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing, Misa, is this device, although we say it's for everyone, and it is, there are a specific demographic of people that would really get the most out of utilizing this device on the go and when they're using it at home as well. Misa, thank you so much for having me on today. I've enjoyed talking about all things Surface Book 3, whether it's the 13.5 inch or the 15 inch. We've covered everything from design to performance and also who it's for as well. Thanks, Misa.
No, thank you for joining me, Steve. It was really good to have your perspective on this device, and I hope that you'll join me for another video soon. And if you haven't already checked out our video on Go 2, please check that out on our YouTube page. There's also videos on Pro X, 7 and laptop to see which Surface might be perfect for you. On our YouTube page, we also have lots more videos and streams for you to check out, as well as on all of our different socials, which Steve is much better at calling out, so I'm going to hand off to you to finish the video.
Cool, thanks Misa. As always, for all your latest social media updates, keep it locked to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube channels. But of course, for all the latest courses, articles and accreditations, keep it locked. Where to, Misa?
ExpertZone guys, we'll see you in the next video. See ya.